Former Department of Homeland Security advisor Charles Marino joins me now. Charles, in the days immediately after the shooting a year ago, we learned, that there were problems, that local police, in fact, saw the gunman on the roof, confronted him, and then backed down the ladder, that kind of thing. But this report is really astounding in terms of the number of mistakes that were made that day.
Yeah, certainly lots of problems exposed by the overall inadequate security planning. But at the macro level here, what it appears is that the Secret Service had a loss of quality control. And this came in a lot of different forms. It came in the form of DEI hiring, buying into the Biden administration's initiative to lower standards to meet quotas, which is never a good thing. You had mass retirements and resignations, high turnover in the Secret Service. It's an extremely tough workload. So you had a burnout factor, and that burnout factor impacts things like training, which just was not occurring at the time. So what we had here was a perfect storm, or in other words, a ticking time bomb for something like this to happen.
Was the attitude toward the former president who was running again, did that enter in here at all, do you think?
Well, I think it's a fair question to ask what was going on within the administration and within the Secret Service. And were there any political leanings at the time? You had a Secret Service director that was appointed by President Biden, and simply put, President Trump was not being given the adequate resources or technologies to match the threat level that he was facing at that time or currently faces.
Well, and this president obviously took out Qasem Soleimani, the top general or the IRGC general in Iran during his first term. The Iranians have planned to kill him as a result of that. This is not just this, teenage kid in Butler who came very close to killing the president, but there are worldwide threats against our president. Is the Secret Service up to the task?
You're right. None of this should be viewed in isolation by the agency. These global threats have a direct impact here and a direct impact on the president of the United States. Look, there's a lot of different entities that are not happy with this president right now, Iran being one of them. Let's add in the Mexican cartels, who are struggling now to continue to make money the way they were under the Biden administration, or China, or all of these other countries that are now facing things like increased tariffs. All of this needs to be formed into the protective intelligence model, taken into account, which is why the threat level drives the amount of resources and capabilities that are then put forth to keep the president and his family safe. And this will continue for quite some time. Now, whether the Secret Service is up to it, I like the change of leadership. I like the recommendations that are being adapted and implemented by the agency. These are all very important to the agency's mission. But this quality control, the leadership has got to ensure that the best protective product is being put forth each and every day. And if the people that are there right now, in some way, shape, or form, are incapable of doing that, then they need to be moved out of the agency.
I've kind of always thought that the Secret Service was the gold standard in federal protection. But when you read this report that Charles Grassley released, this was a disaster waiting to happen.
John, the agency always goes after the best and brightest, at least in my experience, and the diversity took care of itself. That was not prioritized. Back to things like quotas. Of course, you're going to have a lowering of standards. And that's what we saw. We saw inexperienced people going out, being put on the ground. In Butler, Pennsylvania, we saw a lack of oversight to ensure that the security planning was robust and adequate, and that all of the threats identified were being appropriately mitigated. So the leadership now really almost needs to do an inventory of everything that took place the last 4 years and ensure that it lives up to the levels and expectations that we need now based on this president and based on this threat level.
Charles Marino, formerly an advisor with the Department of Homeland Security. Charles, thank you.
Thanks, John.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.